Much, Adrian. That was the Blizzard Museum, and now we're back here on the BlizzCon set with a man who's had a busy couple of days. It is Dustin Browder, of course, the man you know from Starcraft 2. Heart of the Swarm is here. It's playable. You guys had an amazing trailer in the opening ceremony yesterday. So for fans that may not be fully up to speed on what's new with Starcraft, this expansion's been announced. You guys did a little preview event with the press in the summer. What's new? You have some new units that you're showing off here for fans?
We have a ton of new multiplayer units we're showing off here. We have, depending on how you want to count it, we've got as many as 6 new units and 7 significant upgrades to each of the 3 races in StarCraft. Of course, we've got a whole new campaign featuring Sarah Kerrigan as the leader of the Swarm, a very dark, desperate campaign with a very different tone than the tone you see in Wings of Liberty. And we've got a bunch of changes to BattleNet, including a StarCraft arcade, which is a place for players to upload their mods so that they can see them easily. Other players can see them. You can easily find the mods you want to find and hopefully get a really strong, vibrant mod community that's already growing in Wings of Liberty to continue forward in Heart of the Swarm.
So are you really looking at the Heart of the Swarm launch as being the big full push behind arcade for you guys?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Cool. Tell us a bit about Dota, which is something that you guys have talked about as well here, right?
Yeah, so we've got a whole new version of Dota that's completely revamped from the version we showed last year. Our Dota is really trying to be a much more accessible experience and a more team-based play experience than a lot of other games in that style that are out there. So really focused on trying to get players to focus on killing the enemy, supporting one another, working as a group to defeat the competition. And this really allows us to create very sort of iconic heroes and heroes with very distinct roles. It's not just about killing enemies, it's also about supporting your allies, and it creates a very diverse play experience. Also, we've got it down to about a 20-minute gameplay experience, which is something we're very happy with for the game. It lets you play a couple games in a lunch without having to go over your lunch hour.
And so are you guys developing that Dota internally at Blizzard now, or who's making that?
Yeah, we've got a couple of guys on the team who are full-time on it. The artists help whenever they can, but it's really a very small group of guys working very hard. It's something they feel very passionate about.
So one thing that's unique about your team inside of Blizzard as opposed to other teams is you do have divided focus right now. You have people on arcade, you have people on Dota, you have people on single player, and people on multiplayer. How are you managing that?
And people on Liberty. We still have people doing balance work and doing maps for Wings of Liberty. It's been a real challenge for us this year. When you look at what the World of Warcraft team does every year, I'm amazed. These guys are doing patches, they're doing expansions, they've always got a bunch of things going at once, and it's something that can be done, but it requires a lot more juggling and a lot more leadership across the team. And fortunately, we've been very blessed at Blizzard to be able to hire people and to be able to promote people from within to really create that infrastructure that allows us to go so many different directions at once.
Let's get into the nitty-gritty of the units that you're taking in and taking out for everyone who didn't get to see that panel
moving
yesterday.
Units, which is controversial.
We're moving a few units.
Highlight a couple that you're taking out and give us 3 that you're putting in that you're very excited about.
So we have the Overseer is a unit we've had for quite a while now. And the Overseer is sort of fundamentally flawed. Since he's a unit that gives you food, we can never make him very powerful because you could build an unlimited number of him at some point. Right. So there's no balanced solution here. He's got to go. So we're replacing him with a new full spellcaster for the Zerg called the Viper, who's got a couple of really key abilities. He's got a blinding cloud that he can put down that allows him to prevent enemy units from shooting. Their range goes to 1 inside this cloud. It's very powerful. He's also got an abduct ability that allows him to grab enemy units and yank them right underneath him, so you can use them to pull Immortals or even Colossus right into the heart of the Swarm, where they can just be enveloped and destroyed. We're also taking out the Mothership, which was a unit we loved very dearly, but it was not a unit that was really carrying its weight. We really need to have everything in StarCraft be as tight and clean as possible, something that's very, very crisp and clear.
The unit.
Yeah, and so we're going to have to retire. The Mothership is going to be retired by the Protoss. Still show up in campaign, still be part of the universe, just not something the Protoss employ in their arsenal for multiplayer.
Yeah, interesting.
So we'll be adding the Oracle, which is a small, fast Protoss raider that has the ability to actually put force fields around mineral nodes to protect them, which is really used to stop the enemy from mining. You can put these on top of the enemy minerals and their workers are stuck for a while.
So many layers of strategy. Now, one thing I want to ask you about is the campaign, because I think StarCraft 2, you did something really unique with the in-game storytelling, and it wasn't pre-rendered cinematics, it was actually in-game story scenes. Are you improving that, or how is that going to take a step forward in Heart of the Swarm?
Well, the cinematics guys have learned a ton about how to make this work in our engine and how to make it move forward. So I think the quality level has gone up substantially since Wings of Liberty, but that'll be up to you guys when you're going to look at it.
Are you showing any of it here?
We saw some of it in the trailer already.
Okay.
Right, a
the
big
little
chunk of that
teasers, so
trailer,
there's nothing here playable yet, right?
Nothing there playable that shows that stuff. All of that stuff was from the in-game cinematics.
Oh, wow.
Or a big chunk of it anyway.
Really? Wow.
It was 67 minutes total, and about 40 of that was in-game and 20 was pre-render.
Right. Yeah.
Do you know what the balance plan is?
I don't know yet for sure. It will be a little bit less because there's fewer missions in Heart of the Swarm than there was in Wings of Liberty, but the proportions are about the same.
Okay.
So we had, what, 29 missions, so down to 20, so about whatever the percentage
And that
is.
leads to another question I think a lot of fans have been asking me. How is this coming out? Is it going to be like a full retail release? Is it going to require that you have main StarCraft? How is it going to be packaged when it comes out?
It is being treated like an expansion. So we'll require that you have purchased previously Wings of Liberty, and it'll be priced as an expansion as well. I don't know what the final price is yet, but it won't be the same
Not
as
a full-scale game.
Not a full box product.
Wow. All right. Very cool. We've got lots of questions online for you from fans. Well, this is okay. So this first one, I guess you've just answered from Tom. It says, Heart of the Swarm campaign a similar length to Wings of Liberty, so it's going to be a little bit shorter, right?
It's a little bit shorter. It'll be 20 missions instead of 29.
Right.
But we do have a bunch of stuff we're adding as well. We have a bunch of evolution missions that we're putting in, and these are little smaller missions that are show off the Zerg finding and discovering the creatures that they're going to consume to evolve the swarm. And so you get a chance to take a creature, feast on a creature on a map, gain its DNA, and then change a unit at a very fundamental level. And when you leave that level, then you have a choice about how you want to improve that creature going forward.
Wow, cool evolution.
That is evolution. This might be a bad thing to say, but looking at the new WoW talent system that they're introducing, it looks to me like they learned a lot from what you were doing in Wings of Liberty.
I haven't actually seen it yet, but we do.
I was like, oh, that's kind of like what
similar.
they're doing.
We do cross-pollinate quite a bit. We all go to lunch together a lot. We talk about our games, talk about what we like in games, and we try to see where we want to go, where we think the business is going, and more importantly, what makes quality products.
So don't let them ship before you, Dustin.
You got it.
Chaos Murph said, Dustin, what's your favorite part of the StarCraft 2 campaign, be it a mission or a mechanic that you think worked out very well?
I think my favorite mission from Wings of Liberty was the mission where you're fighting against the waves of infested Terrans that are coming only at night, and then you strike out during the day. The second mission, working with Dr. Hansen. That was one of my favorite missions that we did. I thought it really captured a great cinematic moment, but it also lets you be in control. It made you the hero of that action instead of just sort of watching the zombie apocalypse. You were living it, and it felt really fun.
A lot of fun achievements associated with that mission.
Well, Dustin, good luck. There's lots more development left on Heart of the Swarm, but we'll be hearing more about it, I'm sure, in 2012. Now we're